For those of you that didn't already know, I just so happen to be a huge fan of Victorinox Swiss Army knives. Right here I have a couple of the mini ones that are designed to fit on keychains. I've got the classic SD and the Swiss Champ Mini. As you can see, they both have the classic shape and logo. They both have a lot of little tools on them, but I think I'm going to save those for discussion for a later date. So today I think I'm going to show you one of my all-time favourite knives that I own that is perfect for EDC. The Victorinox Huntsman. The only thing that I've ever added to this knife was the lanyard. No modifications to it. It's had 3.5 years of use and a little bit of abuse whenever I let people borrow it, if I'm honest. And it's held up pretty nice. And so let's just jump right into the review by going through all of the tools. So very quickly, we've got the blade, which by the way has a great shape for EDC use. Everyday carry use is generally just general use, and so you need it to be good blade shape to perform a variety of tasks with relative ease. So this sort of pen shape is absolutely excellent. The big blade is 3 inches long. The small blade is just under 1 inch long, I think, and comes out of the box incredibly sharp. This is your emergency blade or your fine use blade. It's generally slightly sharper. Everyone who I've talked to says that the smaller one is slightly sharper, and is great for when the bigger one gets blunt and you need a sharp knife. Next in line is the saw. Now the saw is the feature that sort of differentiates the Huntsman from a lot of the other models, and the saw is very thin, and it's actually got a slight bend on it from when I lent it to my dad, let my dad use it. He got a bit sort of carried away with it and accidentally bent it a little bit, but it still works perfectly, and the saw is wicked sharp. It just cuts through wood like butter. It is the best saw I have seen. The problem with it is though, is that the short length makes it much less efficient than anything else. So it is an excellent saw, but compared to its much larger counterparts, it's gonna struggle. But for something of this size, it is an absolute beast. So then next we have the scissors. The Victorinox scissors are absolutely fantastic as well. They do the job really well. They're spring loaded, so single-handed use, just finger will do, or you can go finger and thumb for a little bit of extra support. It sometimes gets a little bit sort of sticky underneath the pivot, but you can just rinse the whole system with hot water. It's all sort of stainless steel and it won't rust. The scissors are unbelievable for the size again, nice and sharp and function really well. Next, the can opener and small flathead screwdriver, which actually works quite nicely as a Phillips as well if you don't have a proper Phillips handy. As a can opener, as in a tin opener, it's absolutely fantastic again for camping, and when you can't find the other sort of proper can openers, it works absolutely fine. And for ages, when I first got this, I couldn't use the regular can opener in our house. I just couldn't do it, but I could use this, which most people can't for some bizarre reason. So it's pretty easy to learn how to do this, and there's a little bit of a technique to it, but it works really well once you're good at it. Then there's the large flathead screwdriver and bottle opener. When I first got this, I never used the bottle opener. Now I use it all the time. It's great. It's the best thing ever. And it also has this little chunk of metal chipped out, and they call it a wire stripper, but to be perfectly honest, it has to be the worst wire stripper in the world, and it's just a lame excuse for a tool. Next to the ream, which is always really difficult to open for some reason, but what you have here is a punch for punching holes in leather, and a little sewing eye there so that you can actually sew with it as well. I've like sewed little things before, like I made a little possibles pouch one day, and stuff like that, using like sort of cheap leather basically, and so that worked well. And then there's this multi-purpose hook. No one ever seems to know what this is. It's quite simply a hook that you can use for carrying bags, from the days where parcels were sort of wrapped in brown paper and string. It's a good way of sort of carrying it so that a heavy parcel doesn't dig into your fingers as much, which is pretty nice as well. I'm sure there's a multitude of other uses. I've seen someone use it to move a bike chain around without getting their fingers greasy before now, so that's a good one. The corkscrew is something I've never actually used, considering I use the bottle opener so much, but the corkscrew just it doesn't function as well as a regular corkscrew, because regular corkscrews just seem to be engineered more efficiently, designed more efficiently, and you seem to get a lot of extra leverage out of them, so it doesn't really work as well. Next we have the toothpick, which I have used a few times. Bacon always gets stuck between people's teeth and my teeth, and I don't lend this to anyone else, but it always, like, bits of bacon always get stuck between my teeth, so I get to use that, which is always a very satisfying task, by the way. Then we have the tweezers, which are great for pulling out splinters and I suppose ticks or plucking people's eyebrows or whatever, so that's great. The final thing is this little keyring here, which I've added a lanyard loop to. The lanyard basically makes it slightly easy to pull it out of my pocket when I need to. The handles come in a variety of different colours. The Huntsman model comes in a sort of special edition, which only comes with the Huntsman, I think, sort of camouflage scales, but the scales on this one are red, as you can see, which is sort of the classic Victorinox Swiss Army knife colour. In fact, it's the classic Swiss Army knife colour. The Victorinox knives all have this sort of like stainless steel imprint in the scales, which never scratches off, never rusts. It's just awesome, and it looks really good as well. When you first get the knife, the handles have a really nice polish, but after a little bit of pocket wear and tear, that sort of quickly goes to a sort of a matte finish, really. The handles are relatively tough, but I cracked mine somehow. I don't even know how that happened, but that was about a year ago now, so that was after 2.5 years of solid use. So the handles are pretty tough. You can actually send off for replacements for the tweezers, the toothpick, and these scales as well, which are easily removed. There's videos out there showing you how to make wooden scales for the Swiss Army knives, which is pretty nice as well. Everything has this really nice mirror finishing to it. Once it's got scratched up a little bit, it's not as good, but as you can see there, it's really sort of shiny. That's my light. If I bring the blade up to the camera, you might be able to see the camera in it. No, it's too shiny. But yeah, once it gets scratched up and a bit oily and things, it's not got the same polish on it anymore. But it's pretty nice. It's just a great design for EDC use. Everyone has them. There's no reason why you shouldn't have one. And the most used tools are probably these two. And it's just an excellent little tool really to have around. UK legal, everyday carry as well, which is nice. Great backup carry for just multi-purpose use, and just really handy. Once you've got one, you'll always need it. If you don't have one, you probably think you're managing without. Your life isn't as easy as the Swiss Army Knife Huntsman owners is. So get hold of one of these if you can. You can get them on Amazon, I think, for about £25, which is quite a nice price, and for £5 more most sort of websites will do you a engraving of some kind, which is also very good. There's also a bit of a history behind Swiss Army knives. Some of the older ones are very collectible, and they usually bring out collectible ones with various different handle materials and things every so often, so keep an eye out for those as well. So thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, rating and subscribing. Have a nice day.